What's up, YouTube? This video may seem kind of crammed, but I want you to understand that it is this easy to grow watermelons, and I will give you all the information that you need, nothing more, nothing less, guys. So basically, starting off from direct sowing of seeds or putting in a transplanter, all my other plants that I will show you are direct sown. These will be brought to another area of land so I can also grow these melons. So I basically use the sand mixture. You want whatever has a well draining mix, whatever is well draining and can hold nutrients well, I'll say. So here we have a seedling that has come up. The second phase of the seedling coming up is the leaves opening. The third phase will be the true leaf forming in the center. So these are embryonic leaves, and in the center we call true leaves, which is the actual foliage of the melon, which is this, guys. So that's the seedling stage. Now we'll go to the stage of the true leaves spreading. This, guys. So this is second stage of watermelon growth. Once you get your true leaves, and then the vine starts to run. In the third stage, after the running of the vine, you get formation of watermelon flowers. Third stage. So basically between all these stages, you want to have lots of compost mixed in. See, I compost watermelon rinds and other type of fruits. Lots of compost mixed in and lots of worm castings. You want worm castings in the beginning of the planting phase, and you can continuously add them as you see fit. Worm castings are very great for root growth. Very, very great for root growth, which will give you more foliage, bigger foliage, meaning more melons, guys. So fourth stage would be running of the vines and spreading of lots of flowers and the opening of female flowers. So let's find a female flower. We have two of them on one vine. So here's a female flower that was opened earlier today, and this one is from yesterday. So this is fourth stage, guys, and this is one plant. This is just one watermelon vine, guys. Fifth stage will be swelling of the female flowers. There's 12 vines in here. I wouldn't recommend planting 12 vines together unless you have a great method of training them to fit your bed. So this is fifth stage, guys, swelling of the fruit. At that stage, you wanna continuously add whatever fertilizer mix you're using in order to maximize watermelon growth. It's fifth stage, and sixth stage will basically be the ripening of the melon. So here you can see a dead tendril. I don't go by the dead tendril. This tendril has been dead for about a week or 2 weeks at this point. I don't go by dead tendrils. I go by the deadening of the umbilical. And you can see this is a living umbilical, so that won't separate easy from the melon. Over here we have another umbilical that it isn't dead yet, but it's beginning to die. If you can see the browning in here, and it'll continue to spread, and there's also browning right there. So that'll be easier to separate from that melon than it would have been when it was all the way green. So that's fifth stage. And I'll show you also this one. And you can see the umbilical is drying out here. So basically, once all the nutrients and water is finished passing through the umbilical, that melon is good to go because this umbilical will dry out. This umbilical here will dry all the way out. I'm not gonna wait until the whole umbilical dries out, but once it has a decent amount of drying on it, I'll say that one has a decent amount because I can see enough brown on it. And I'll show you some other ones with dry umbilicals. And then 6th stage would be harvest. And to continue feeding the melon because it will keep putting out flowers until the cold comes. So you can see this has a dry umbilical also. This was ready to go 2 weeks ago in dry tendril terms, but I don't go by dry tendril, I go by drying of the umbilical. If you have to use scissors to separate your melon from the vine, it's not ripe. It's not as ripe as if you have to fight it. Here you can see a sugar bead that came from this spot here, from this pollination mark. I was moving this melon, and you can see it has lots of pollination marks on it. This is a big crimson sweet. Formation of fruit. And something bit into it last night. Jerk. Then we have a cow sweet. Beautiful. And then you can see definitely has a dry tendril. And you can see its umbilical is drying out. So I'm gonna let that cow sweet sit for a little longer. See more cow sweets. And not all watermelons will form that yellow spot on top, so I don't go by that as a ripening sign. That's only if the sun is just shining directly on top of the melon. All right, guys. So 6th stage is harvest. Now I'll show you harvest. So basically, we want just at least a slight drying of this umbilical. If you have a slight drying of this umbilical, then it's ready to go, because it will separate easy. See that? You can't snap that off on a unripe melon, guys. You can see it has a nice creamy bottom on it. Let me lift this guy up. It's heavy for its size. It's a Jubilee watermelon. You can see all the pollination marks on it. But you basically want that drying of the tendril, and then you'll get easy separation of the vine. So let's try that with that cow sweet, guys. Never harvest the melon unless you have rib formation. You can see these grooves. These striations are actually grooves in the melon. Never harvest the melon unless you have those grooves formed. These striations here are grooves. Never harvest unless you have those grooves formed, and drying of this umbilical. As I said, if you have to fight it, it's not as ripest. Pick this guy up. It's heavy. I have to put this camera down for one moment. So, as you can see, this umbilical came off. Have ribs on it. Nice deep yellow spot, but as I said, not all watermelons will show that. There's no spot on the bottom of it because I had it resting in there on top of bricks. It was kind of on a brick, elevated on a brick. So, nice ripe cow sweet. We'll go put this next to the Jubilee. This cow sweet is on its way to ripening. This crimson sweet should be ripe. I'll leave it on there for a little longer because this isn't snapping off as easy as I want it to. And here we have a formation of a female flower. So I will continue feeding these plants as long as it keeps putting out female flowers. Okay. All right, guys. Sit this next to the Jubilee. Cow sweet, a Jubilee, ready to go. And basically, once you harvest these melons, those plants are not finished producing melons. They will keep putting out female flowers. I have countless female flowers that are constantly forming on these melon guys. So, as I said, it's very easy. And I'll sum it up for you once again. At planting time, you want to use a well-draining mixture, whether it's sand or whatever type of mixture you use, and you want to amend it with lots of worm castings and compost. But make sure you put those worm castings in first. Second, you want to start applying fertilizer at formation of the true leaves. Third, you wanna cut back on the watering once you achieve fruit set. So basically, once you get those little small fruits forming, that's when you want to cut back on watering, and only water if you see withering of the leaves, or if you live in just in a hot area, just you water every day, but just make sure you cut back on the amount of water you actually give if you want to have sweet melons. So that's third. Fourth, add fertilizer every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks. Just watch the foliage of your plants and it'll tell you everything that the plant needs. Fifth, you want to check these melons every day, every other day. Make sure you get formation of ribs. You see these striations, they have it's ribs. It's hard to show it on camera, but it's not a smooth. It will no longer be a smooth surface. And 6, for harvest, once you notice the drying of the umbilical, you can see on here those dry marks. I mean, I could have let it sit on that vine a little longer, but it's ripe at this point. So once you see those drying marks, the guy is ready to harvest. Let's check this Charleston gray here, and it's beginning to dry, but it's not there. So I'll leave that Charleston gray for a while, and just continue feeding it, guys. The more you feed it, the more melons you'll get. Just that simple.